Hello, my most amazing scholars of truth, goodness, and beauty. How are you today? Can you see me in the mirror? This is what you would need if you were going to draw a self-portrait. Today, we are going to look at some self-portraits done by some famous artists. A self-portrait is a picture or painting or drawing of yourself. And there's been a lot of interesting self-portraits done by artists throughout the years. And the reason we're going to look at these self-portraits is because in our art project, we are going to draw our own self-portraits. So you'll be getting a chance to try to draw a picture of yourself, and we're gonna cut those out and put them onto our beautiful backgrounds that we've been creating with lines and rainbow colors. So, a self-portrait can look lots of different ways. Some artists try to make a very realistic self-portrait so that it would look exactly the same as if you were looking in a mirror. All the details the same. Some artists like to take a little stylistic approach and change the way that they look to show how they would look in a different way. Some artists just focus on the colors or the lighting or the lines or the shapes, and I can't wait to show you some really interesting examples. All right, let's take a look at a book I found at the library. The book we're going to look at today is a book called Draw Like an Artist, a Self-Portrait Sketchbook, and it was created by Patricia Geese. All right, now I'm just going to show you a few of the pages, and we're going to start with an artist named Albrecht Durer. Albrecht Durer was alive a long time ago. He created this interesting self-portrait in 1498. That is a little over 500 years ago. So notice a few things about his self-portrait. It says Albrecht Durer portrayed himself as a subject of some of his paintings to proclaim that painters were creators and not mere artisans subject to the whims of a client. Here he painted himself as he wished others to see him, as an artist and a gentleman, elegant and refined. All right, so that one is very realistic. I bet that the picture he painted here would look almost exactly the same if he were looking in a mirror. Here is a self-portrait sketch done by a very famous artist named Rembrandt. This was created in 1630, so that's a little less than 400 years ago. And it says about this self-portrait that when we're happy, surprised, sad, or frightened, we're still ourselves. Rembrandt captured his own image at specific moments, adding an expression of confusion or surprise through drawings done as swiftly as the click of a camera. So this is one of his doodles, one of his drawings where he was practicing how to show different expressions on his face. Take a minute and try to look in the mirror and make some different faces. Can you make a happy face? Surprised face? How about a sad face? Maybe a frightened face? This one of Rembrandt, I think he looks kind of shocked, kind of surprised. He's got those wide eyes and his lips are kind of like, oh no. So sometimes we can experiment with different expressions on our faces. Self-portrait. This is Vincent Van Gogh, and he painted this in 1887. And he only used short paint strokes that were like little lines to create this painting. It's very impressionistic. So artists often used self-portraits to experiment with and to perfect artistic techniques, since the model is always available. In this painting, Vincent Van Gogh did just that, where he used only lines of color to paint himself. So sometimes we can use self-portraits to experiment with different art techniques. Here is a self-portrait of an artist named Frida Kahlo. And in this self-portrait, she included some very special friends. The people and animals we love are a part of our lives. In this painting, Frida Kahlo is surrounded by 4 monkeys who represent the 4 students that she taught at that time and who called themselves Los Fridos. Kahlo adored animals and always had many exotic creatures in her home. In portraying her students as her beloved little monkeys, she revealed her affection for them. So sometimes in a self-portrait, you might think of ways that you can add people or animals or things that you value to your self-portrait. Whoa, take a look at this one. This definitely doesn't look like the kind of self-portrait you would see if you looked in a mirror. This is not realistic. This is stylistic. It's more modern. This is a self-portrait by Pablo Picasso. Do you remember when we looked at that painting of the little girl eating her soup or her favorite food from a bowl? It was called Le Gourmet. So we've been practicing how to say his name, Pablo Picasso. Well, this self-portrait shows so many different views. Take a look and see if you can notice that in some of it's looking straight at you. But on other parts, it's like a profile where the face would be looking sideways. Check this out. Part of his face is looking to the left, and part of it's looking to the right, and part of it is looking straight forward. Pablo Picasso thought that whether facing forward in profile, with his back to the viewer, looking to one side, or with his mouth open or shut, he was still Pablo Picasso. That's why he wanted to represent all of those positions at the same time in one image.